Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. I have been spending the week in the tropical locale of Maui, Hawaii. And today, we are going to be going out on an adventure looking for as many cool, interesting, and different antique shops and collectible shops as we can. We're starting here in Kihei with a vintage and collectible jewelry shop to see what they have there. And then we're off nearer to where the airport is. And apparently there's a bunch of antique shops there too. So follow along as we continue our adventure here in Maui. I've got the right shirt, I've got the right attitude. Let's see what we can find. Currently in the village or town of Kihei, Hawaii, where people are just getting going. It is almost 9 in the morning. People are out. Some people have been at the beach already. And we are going to be approaching our first stop. We have made our way to the town of Wailuku on the way to the Needle. We drove past here the other day, but this Art Deco sort of looking town hosts many of the antique stores and local pawn shops. This is where the locals would come to buy and sell their wares, and that's where I want to be. Not the touristy areas, I want to be here where the locals go. People riding around on their scooters. Right on the corner, there's a pawn shop. I guess we'll pop in there and have a look first. And there's a store across the street down there called Antique Freak. I'm talking here and didn't even see the curb. Less talking, more walking. Abigail, Melissa, and the kids look around. I am checking out the showcases in the store. They've got some really neat statues. That's kind of pre-Art Nouveau, sort of the Greek Revival kind of look. This nice marble pedestal base probably came in a very fancy house at one point. Nice coins. But what I'm really hoping to find is maybe some good watches or some cool comic books. Oh, surfboard, that would be nice if that was at home. Would like to find an old surfboard at some point. Got a good selection of guitars here. I saw they had a nice Gibson up at the front. And what pawn shop wouldn't be complete without at least one or two quasi-creepy dolls? I shouldn't say creepy dolls, because those are, they're nice, but they were built to be collectible, which makes them not as collectible as you might think. Some nice ukuleles. It's all sorts of neat stuff. They've even got the pawn shop fish here. It's a dragon arowana from the Southeast Asian Sea. It's 30 years old. It's been swimming in that circle. Hello, fishy. This is probably like a 1940s or 50s era erector set carousel. In Canada, we'd call it Meccano. Basically the same thing, except this was made by Gilbert and Company. And it's mechanical. You built that yourself, and it's got a little motor. You plug it in. You can kind of tell the age of something by looking at the plug. That's more actually, 50s or 60s looking on the plug, unless it's a newer motor. But kind of a neat set and quite large too. Did not find anything in that particular pawn shop, but there is just next door the Yao Theater, and it is a lovely piece. National Register of Historic Places. There's the old ticket office right there. I don't think it's the original tile work. The floor maybe, but nice to see these old buildings are still standing and still being used as a theater. This morning we are making the trek from Kihei on our way en route to Hana, which is in total a 2.5 hour drive, but I don't think we're planning on going all the way up. It is a very scenic drive. In fact, it's so pretty, it's where they filmed the opening sequence of the original Jurassic Park with Jeff Goldblum. Chaos Theory, Jeff Goldblum, anyway, that movie. So we're headed up that way right now with the kids. We're gonna stop along the way and see some beautiful bamboo fields and tropical sights and scenery. Where we are right now is actually it's green and dry. Vastly different parts of this island. You have desert to your right and tropical just to your left. Weather patterns greatly affected by the mountains and so forth here. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting drive. So off to the direction of Hana, the road to Hana we go. We are approaching very quickly here the town of Haiku, where they speak in very strangely structured sentences. The town of Haiku. Oh, that was a bad attempt. But this is a little stopping point on the way to Hana where you can stop and grab some snacks or some things before you go. And we are stuck in the only traffic jam we've been in this whole trip. The road to Hana is probably one of the most windy bits of pavement I've been on. It's a great deal of fun. It would be more fun if I wasn't in a Nissan, whatever this is.
Murano.
And it's a rental car. But it's handling the road fairly well. Steven's been saying that he wishes we had the Miata that we found at that house here so he could be driving down the twisty roads. Maybe that's something he can do one day. But for now, we have the family with us. I'm handling these roads and I'm pretending that I'm in like a race car video game, trying to hit the apex on these corners here. It's great fun. It is absolutely stunning, this drive. However, there's lots of corners where you come up to a bend and you cannot see who's coming, so you kind of poke your nose out a little bit and hope for the best. And then there's randomly cars that had been on fire or abandoned on the side of the road and nobody's cleared them. But like this area here that we're coming up to, where there's tourists parked on the side of the roads, and it gets down to a one-lane bridge, and I can't see if anybody's coming. And some of these people are really flying around the corners, so you have to be very cautious. And Melissa, not a big fan of the curves.
Understandably so.
Yeah, here's a corner coming up. This is a two-lane road, and my vehicle is taking up the whole width of it basically in certain areas. But look at that view. Okay, that's good. Along the road, there are places you can pull over and do a little exploration. At the top of this sort of hill, up your way through the jungle here, we've come across this. There is what used to be sort of a path along here, and it leads to this structure, which it looks like it was at one time maybe a water tower, a holding tank of sorts, and maybe in use up until not that long ago, because you can see it's got this sort of modern hose coming off of it. Another little catch station there, and this, look at the vines have wrapped over this cast iron. It looks like a pump. Looks like a massive gas pump, even though I know it's not. And a little shed there, but the vines are just completely overgrown. And I don't think in this environment it would take long for the vines to overgrow pretty much anything. But it's a neat little spot along the way. As for me, I'm gonna get back to my car. But just super pretty. I mean, the whole little walk up here, there's flowers all over the ground, because pretty much everything has flowers. I'm gonna peek around the corner here before I go down. It's a trail. You can see there's a building down that way. These massive trees and these vines growing all the way up. If you've ever played video games and you have these little characters and they have to hop their way up the leaves, That's what it reminds me of, because I'm just a big man child apparently. Anyway, back to the trip. There is our trusty steed that got us here. It is a Nissan Murano. I should give it its props. It's been doing just fine. Air conditioner's working great and made it all safe. Waiting for Melissa, who's down in the little waiting line to go use the facilities. And back to Kihei we shall go once she gets back here. This is what I'm talking about. Randomly on the side of the road, there are things like this. Completely burnt out vehicles, abandoned, and they look like they've been here for a while, and yet nobody has come to clear it out. Guess she was overheating on the highway a bit. Oh. Somebody's come and put these stickers have been all over Hawaii. I don't know what it is, this weird looking shark. Those have been on stop signs and all over the place. I like that they tagged it like, please remove your vehicle. Like whoever this was didn't know that this needed to be removed. Anyway, the most random stuff in Hawaii, I tell you. Well, the trip was really fun on the road to Hana. We've stopped for pizza now. And oddly, the one thing you can't find on a menu in Hawaii is Hawaiian pizza. It's a Canadian thing. But I noticed that they have the build your own option, so we're gonna build my own Hawaiian pizza in Hawaii. The kid said, you show this on camera, you're gonna get canceled. It's delicious. I don't care what any of you say at home that don't like pineapple on pizza, it's good. This is the view from our condo that we've rented. The sun is setting. And with that, we end another day on the island. I hope you liked today's adventure. We had lots of fun, did that windy road. Melissa's with me, right? In case you're wondering. So guys, in the next episode, I guess we're gonna do maybe some antique stores, some thrifting, and do some other stuff. I'm counting with my fingers, by the way. You can't see that, but I am. So we're gonna call it a night. Gonna enjoy this evening, maybe have a nice glass of wine and just relax. And I hope you guys do as well. Don't forget to stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, aloha for now. Bye guys.